wearing jeans is all fun and games until you have to sit down.
Depending on what kind. Are you wearing the baggy ones or are you wearing the tight
I feel like no
ones?
matter what type of jean I wear, it's all like cute and a vibe and an outfit until I have to sit down and I regret ever putting on jeans.
I think to me that only happens if I have like tight jeans on. Yeah.
I don't know. Girls out there, let me know if you found a pair of like jeans that work. For some reason, like even my not baggy ones, there's something about it that's still not comfortable. Like there's nothing that compares to the comfort of sweats.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you have super baggy pants, you'll be just fine.
Yeah,
like the ones I wore the other day.
They're so baggy that they just don't fit at this point, you know?
Okay, well, I want to start off this podcast with a story.
Okay.
Just real quickly.
Yeah, let's get it.
So today at work, I'm working the register, just regular shit. Mm-hmm. And this woman walks up to me.
But by the way, I don't know the story yet. So
she just walks up to me and she's like, "Hey, have you seen this guy? Was there someone just hanging around here?"
What?
I had no idea what she was talking about.
So what'd you say?
I was like, I've seen
That's all she said? She didn't give you like a description?
No description at all.
Okay.
And she had her phone out like that, as if she almost wanted to show me a picture of him.
Oh.
But she didn't.
Was she filming you?
No, she wasn't.
Oh.
No. Damn, I wish the story was that good. It's not
Okay.
that great. So then in my head, I'm thinking, you know how many people I saw today?
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that I've seen today. So yes, probably. And then I was like, how does he look like? And she was like, he's kind of tall, beard, but I don't really know. And I was like, what's his name? Maybe I remember his order. And I said, what's his name? And then she said, I don't know, like Jared or something like that, right?
Okay.
But she didn't even say Jared. She was like, let's pretend Jared was the actual name, right? Mm-hmm. She was like, Jared. Like she wasn't really actually sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, damn. So do you know this person or not? Who are you meeting?
How would you know? Okay, anyways.
How would I know what?
How would you know? Anyways, like if I'm looking for someone, I would not ask the person working there.
Okay, but all I'm saying is the way she said his name made me feel like she don't even know him.
Oh, okay.
You know?
I get where this is going.
So then and then she said, "Oh, I'm sorry." She apologized. She kind of like backed up a little bit. And then I had to help someone behind her. Uh-huh. So, and I could just see that she just wanted to hang around because she just wanted to like stand there. And then she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I just need to, figure this out." Mind you, I have no idea what she's talking about.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, next. I don't got time for that.
Okay.
So I helped the next person, got him what he wanted. And then she comes back. And then she looks at her phone and then she says, "Oh, great. Now he disconnected." So I knew she was talking about a dating app automatically.
Oh, he disconnected? Like
So-
unmatched with her?
Unmatched or disconnected. I didn't want to ask her what app she's using. So she said he disconnected, and then she got so mad in front of me. She was like, "Can't believe this. See, it's just not meant for me to date. I tried. She kept saying that. And I felt so bad, and I was like, "Well, don't you have his number?" And then she said, "No, well, with these dating apps, I don't really trust people. I don't give them my number before I actually meet them. And then if I see that you're like a genuine person and you're not a creep or whatever, then I'll give you my number."
Fair enough.
Fair enough. But I told her, I understand your perspective, but just because of situations like this, I would love to be able to call the person and say, "Hey, I'm here," or text them.
But clearly, if he's not on the app anymore, it means that like he's not down anymore. I guess.
Yeah, but
like,
you
he
already
just ghosted her.
But you already told her to go meet her at this restaurant.
People are messed up,
And then she was so sad, and then I told her, maybe next time.
Was this like still at the register?
This is still at the register, and nobody's behind her at this time, right? So she was just really like just breaking it down for me, like how they matched, and he seemed very cool on the app and all that. And I just felt bad the whole time because she really kept looking for him.
Damn.
She was like, maybe he's still. She was
like really like looking forward to
yeah,
that date.
and then she kept saying how she tried dating and it's not meant for her, and that's why I don't do these apps and all that. Yeah, and I told her that I met my person on the app.
What'd she say to that?
I mean, she was like, yeah, I mean, she wasn't very happy to hear that.
Oh, okay.
It's almost kind of like, it's kind of like she just wanted to say, like, she didn't say it, but what I heard in my head, okay, good for you.
Oh, yeah. I guess in that moment, I would probably have felt the same way if I was her.
And then she got some food and like a coffee.
But and then
she hung around for like 2 more hours.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, not talking to me, but she was just like sitting down.
Was she like doing something, or did she seem like she was still waiting for the guy to show up?
I don't know. She was around the corner. Like I didn't see her. But
I don't know. I remember when I was on the app, like even before I met you.
You was on the app before you met me?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I wasn't on the app after I met you though. But I just remember how I wanted to get off the app messaging part like as soon as possible. You could. So it's like I wasn't trying to have a whole conversation and all that. I was like, let's like meet up. But I don't know. Did you get like people's numbers before?
Yeah.
Before you met? Yeah, because you called me.
Yeah, when I used to be on the apps, I never...
On the apps? I thought you just tried one.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Just one. Okay. So, and I remember when I called you and you hated that. You thought it was the weirdest thing ever.
You called me before we even met.
I mean, to me, that was like the icebreaker.
To me, we can't talk on the phone before I meet you.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
To me, in my head, it's like we have to talk on the phone at least once.
What?
Before we actually meet. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess it is the icebreaker. But
so now you at least know like what I sound like.
Yeah, but what if you sound like fucked up? Not that you did.
Okay, if I sound fucked up, then you have an opportunity to leave before I even get there.
I guess. I don't know. I would not think to.
So I wanted to bring this to the topic because I thought about to the podcast because I was like, why can't you? And I didn't want to get into it with that lady.
Yeah, because she was clearly like not having a good.
No, she wasn't having the greatest time ever. But I just wanted to tell her, why don't you just give your number out? I mean, if the person creeps you out, you can block him. You don't have to respond to your phone. Like people act like giving a number is such a big thing.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. I was actually thinking about that the other day. And actually, I was thinking about that today because I've been getting a lot of recently a lot of spam messages or like random calls and shit.
I always get that.
But especially messages, people pretending, or maybe they're not pretending, but someone today was like, Sam, ?
What?
And then they called me twice from all the same number.
They must have really thought you were Sam though.
I know.
If it's a text, it's real.
You think?
There's no spam text.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're getting smarter. But anyways, and I was just thinking, I was like, should I answer this text? Because what if I answer this text and then somehow there's like a bug in the text and they go on my phone? Like, I don't know. I was like,
this is not Windows 98.
Who knows what technology there is? So I was just thinking how if I respond, is my phone going to get registered in some spam list or something? And,
yeah.
And then I also thought about how if someone you always think I don't want to give my phone out to people, but if they have your phone number, the only thing they can really do is call you and text you, and if you don't want them to, you can always block them. So what's the deal with that?
That's what I thought about, but I didn't want to get into that. She was very
that's a good question. I kind of wish you asked her because I always wonder.
Yeah,
because maybe there's something I don't know.
Speaking of spam, this is the second time that it happens to me.
What?
I got a text the other day or the other week. It was maybe 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And it was a picture of a girl, of a random number. It was a picture of a girl.
Like a selfie?
Yeah, it was a selfie. And
like a sexy selfie?
No, not really. It was a selfie, but it was supposed to be sexy.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't sexy to me, okay?
Okay.
So she, and then she said...
Was this on regular text? Green text, blue text?
No, it was Android green text.
Oh,
it was the green text.
All right.
And then the selfie came first, and then the message say, "Hi, babe. It was really nice meeting you last night. Do you want to chat some more?"
Okay.
Yeah.
And
that's it. Like, I saw that and I fucking deleted that shit.
You didn't reply?
I didn't reply. It's like some fake ass shit.
It would be fun to reply just to see what happens.
One time I did reply. Yeah. One time I did reply just to see. I didn't say, yes, I want to hang out, obviously. But I said, who is this? But they never mentioned my name. That's how you know it's fake. They just keep on wanting to.
Oh, yeah. I mean, same with like spam emails and like all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just know if your name's not there.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, welcome back to the What's the Juice podcast with your host, Alia.
And my name is Yoni Kodo. And today...
I'm sorry. You know what? I know I just introduced the pod, but I want to like get into a little thing right now because... just like I would say 30 minutes ago, as we were setting up the pod, I was feeling good. My energy was high. I was ready to record. I was just feeling good, right? 30 minutes later, right before we start recording the pod just now, my energy has shifted completely to where I don't feel like... I'm just going to be transparent because we were friends, you know, over here on the pod. But
we are friends. Very true. What's happening?
No, I just like my energy level is like really low. I'm not really feeling talkative. I'm not really feeling like the usual pod vibes that I'm in.
Okay.
Which I was. And then my mood, I don't know why, switched.
I think we switched because I was kind of feeling like that, but then...
Yeah, Yoni was like, I don't know, I don't feel like recording right now.
No, but then after I kind of moved around a little bit, set up the camera.
Yeah. And
I was like, let's fucking do this shit. This is what I'm going to do, okay?
What are you going to do?
I'm going to give you some of my energy.
How are you going to do that?
Well, we're just going to be talking, and trust me, you're going to get into it.
I'm going to get into it right now.
It's always like...
I just... Because you know what I'm also thinking about? How there was this one episode in the first season that I remember someone left us a review on Apple Podcasts, and they said, like, episode 32 or whatever the episode was, Alia's energy is like really low or something. Do you remember that?
Oh,
someone saying
you
like
need to stop
Alia's
reading comments.
Energies on... No, but it wasn't a comment, it was a review.
Oh shit.
I don't even read the comments just because I don't want any negative stuff, if there is any, to get in my head. But
guys,
either way,
if we get 1 million positive comments and there's one bad comment, or not even bad, just something that's not
just
like...
something that's not like, oh my god, I love you guys.
She will remember that for the rest of time.
I think that's just human nature, you know. And I've heard like that's... I mean, maybe you're not the same, but you know, I was listening to, I think it was like a Call Her Daddy podcast episode with somebody, and then they were saying how like in general, when you're doing anything creative, that's very much like it's 100% you, and you put it out there, and it's the type of content that gets judged by other people anywhere on the internet. Mm-hmm. You automatically just focus in and zoom in on like that one negative comment, even in a sea of 1 million positive ones.
That is so weird to me.
I don't know why, but
you've always been like that though.
I guess so. I mean, even like with like the YouTube, and ever since we started the podcast, and like anything I really do, if there's one negative comment, it's all I see.
Well, stay away from the comments. I mean, not that we're getting...
And that's why I don't really read them, because if there is one, I feel like because I take it to heart. Like it doesn't, it stays with me. That's
not good. You need to not do that.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But what are we talking about today, Yon? You know, like let's get into the juice.
So we this is something that I love to talk about, actually.
Yeah.
Ego and pride. Mm-hmm. I think it's such an interesting topic because so many people have different takes on that. And for some reason, I also feel like people just got like different definitions.
Yeah, well, before this, I was kind of looking up, because I wanted to make sure that we have like what ego means and what pride means very technically and like accordingly.
Yeah.
But then as I was reading, I was getting like a little bit more confused, because like they go hand in hand. They're very interconnected and they overlap a lot.
But they're not the same.
Do you want me to read the definition?
Yeah, please. Yeah, okay. Just real quickly, and then we can get into that because.
Sorry. Okay, so ego's definition is a person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance. The part of the mind that meditates between the conscious and the unconscious and is responsible for reality testing and a sense of personal identity, all right? And then pride.
That was nice.
Okay, and then pride definition, a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements, the achievements of those with whom one is closely associated, or from qualities or possessions that are wildly admired. So I guess ego is just the sense of self and self.
Anything that has to do with
and all that. And then pride is about a feeling of deep pleasure and satisfaction that has to do with your own success, someone close to you and their success. Like you can have a sense of pride that comes from like your children.
Right. But see, so now just know that.
And also possessing things or qualities that are widely admired, like knowing that you have something that a lot of people admire.
Yeah, like you have pride in what you do. Like my photography, I have pride in that.
Yeah, or like if you were a doctor, you probably have pride in your work compared to someone who maybe their job is like something else, like an accountant. No offense if you are one. You know?
Yeah. Or any other job. But so I think pride to me is something that, I do have with whatever I put like, my mind into, whatever I want to do. You
have a lot of pride in the work that you do.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think there's any type of like negative connotation to pride.
Yeah, no, I
feel like if anything, you should have pride in like whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I think you should. That plays like a big part in someone's confidence,
Yes.
Because a lot of both, I would say, ego, the sense of self, and like knowing who you are, and knowing all, like I think ego plays a part in your confidence. You want to have a certain level of ego that is balanced and that is like measured, that isn't too extreme, too egotistical, but it's also not too little where you're insecure.
I don't necessarily think that too little of an ego is insecurity.
No, it is.
Because
that's what the internet says.
Okay, but what the internet said doesn't mean is always true.
No, I'm just saying that's like the psychological like analysis of ego.
How?
Because if you have too little ego, you have a low understanding of your sense of self and your abilities and your, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, so
that's why everyone says like your ego needs to be in balance. It's more of the ego is a spectrum. It's not you have one or you don't. Like everybody has one.
You think I have an ego?
Everybody has an ego. That's not even a matter of like, that's just a fact.
No, but I just don't think I have one. Like literally.
No,
ego.
I just told you everybody has an ego. It's about where on the spectrum of it you are.
Okay. Well, I feel like I'm on like level 2 because I know people and I've seen people with ego and a lot of ego.
A high level of it.
A high level of ego.
Yeah, where they believe that they are superior.
They just think they're the best.
Of something.
They think they know more than everyone at all times.
Exactly.
If they're wrong, you can't prove them right. Even though they know they're wrong, they might just like hold on to that.
Yeah, like, or sometimes they don't even try to really understand what you say because they automatically have already decided that you are wrong and they're right.
Right.
Like they won't even go through the process that a normal person would to try to understand what the other person is saying.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's just, I'm sure if you're listening, everyone knows someone with a high level of ego.
Yeah.
And those people are the most annoying to me because I do not get along.
With people with a high ego?
No, it's hard for me.
Yeah.
Because it's like if we're talking about something and I'm so passionate about this one specific topic and in my head, I know that I'm right and I know what I'm talking about this specific topic. And then somehow you prove me wrong. Mm-hmm. Like you pull it out of Google and you say, oh, but actually this is what it is. I have zero problems taken everything I said back and say, oh shit, I didn't know that. I don't care if there's 100 people in the room. In my head, I'm thinking I just learned something new.
Yeah.
Which is great. I always want to be that person. But I know for a lot of people also that could be very challenging.
Yeah.
You
because
know?
of their ego.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Which, like, I would say that for me, I sometimes hit that ego wall where, or I guess, like, maybe that's not the right, like, metaphor. I don't know how to put my ego aside. I think that's a better way to do it. There's certain areas, topics, situations that happen in my mind that, like, when I'm challenged with it, something like that, where we're having a discussion about something that I think I'm very knowledgeable in or have a really clear understanding of something, and someone challenges that understanding, my immediate response is with my ego. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's something that is also really important to me. And I kind of do that thing that I was just saying where, like, instead of trying to, like, even I still try to understand what the other person is saying, but I don't give it a chance to be the truth.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give it a chance to replace what my truth is. And I think that's where... You want to keep
your truth, like, with you.
Yeah, exactly. And I will actually make a switch. Like, I'm very conscious about the fact that I'm making a switch in my head, that I am just agreeing in my mind that their truth is not my truth.
That's crazy.
Which is so crazy because there's so many other scenarios where I wouldn't do the same thing.
Yeah. Are we good on time still?
Yeah, we're good on time.
Yeah. Damn.
You know what I mean?
But why can you
Can I explain why that is?
No, I'm really honestly trying to understand, like, what goes on if someone tells you, you know, you're wrong about something. Like, why can't, and not just you specifically, but why can't a person just take a step back and say, you know what, I will tell you, like, I will say it out loud, like, damn, I did not know that. You know,
one thing it is, I would say that I can think of, like, right now, it has to do with, for me at least, a little bit of embarrassment, where I think of myself as a really, like, confident person, in the sense of not necessarily, like, confident, like, in what I wear or what I look like. More, I have confidence in my personality. I really know who I am. I really know, like, what I'm very sure of, like, my thoughts and my principles. There's nothing muggy about them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very cookie cut in my beliefs. You know what I mean? Okay. Even though I would say that ever since I've met you, like, I've grown to have a more open mind to listen to other people's own values and opinions and stuff like that. However, depending on the topic, there's certain ones that are very, like, it is what it is in my head, that I've formed, you know, over the years, that whenever that is challenged, and let's say that person has a really good point, I just choose to, like, not see it. Like, I choose to not agree with it because it would be, like, a little bit embarrassing to say that theirs is true and mine is not. Especially because I usually argue the shit out of my point before I even.
But you know that it's not embarrassment, right? Like, that other person proving you wrong, they don't give a shit.
I don't know that, though. I don't know that because there's other people, like, you know, especially, hold on. Especially if the person on the other side of this conversation has an ego as well. Actually, if I'm having a conversation with you, okay, then we go back and forth, we disagree. My ego isn't as strong because your ego isn't as strong. So my ego kind of, like, can stay a little bit more dormant.
So if I prove you wrong,
it's not as big of a deal because your ego, and maybe I would say even your pride of achieving the truth, of achieving you convincing me, is not that big. But you could care less whether or not I agree with you and you're right and I'm wrong. Right. But if I'm arguing with somebody that their pride is being held in them convincing me that I'm wrong and they're right, then, and I'm aware of that.
Oh, you're going to
I'm not going to give them what they want. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
So that's actually, I think, where it kind of makes a difference, because
it becomes a game at that point.
Oh, 100%. And the ego and pride all go hand in hand in that.
So then it's like, whose ego is going to win?
Pretty much.
You're going to try to win even if you're wrong.
Yes.
You're going to still try to win it.
Yeah, and that's where your ego is just like at the fight.
Damn.
And that's happened.
That's a lot of energy.
And it's especially when the other person is truly like with their ego in their hand.
Damn.
Yeah, I actually just realized that in this moment.
That's a lot of energy, I think. That, okay, so you know how you described yourself. I feel like I'm literally
the opposite.
If you're north, I'm south on that, because the way, and I'm not saying this is like the right way, but I think the way I live my life is that, I have my opinions and my beliefs, you know, and stuff like that, but I like to look at things in the perspective of, this is just what I think. That doesn't mean that it's the right thing, or that doesn't mean that, you know, everyone else should think that.
But how can you say that? Like, because
and I'm just
for me
open,
to believe in something has to be right.
Right,
like for me to,
right for who?
It has to be the right thing.
Okay.
Like for me to have an opinion about something, that opinion has to be based in some type of truth that is correct.
Okay.
So then it's automatically that your opinion is right.
You're talking about a fact now. There's factual things. They're different than...
I mean, yeah, but sometimes factual things and opinions can get like blurred a little bit.
Right, but I mean, all I'm saying is that I'm open to, like, I like to think that you know, I know what I'm talking about. But I'm actually curious about what the other person thinks, because I actually want to hear what you say about what I think. And then I just want to sit there and just talk about, like, okay, why do I think like that? I was born there. I lived in this country. I've seen different cultures, and then I see their perspective. And my truth can be mine, and then theirs can be theirs because of, you know, wherever they come from. You know, like it's so I feel like everyone is right.
I think it really depends what it is we're talking about, because I think sometimes, like, if we're arguing, is LeBron the best player that's ever the best basketball player?
Yeah.
Or is he not?
No,
that type of argument, you know, it's like an opinion-based thing. But there's other times where there's like a truth that you're arguing.
But I'm not talking about like arguments about like a specific thing,
or not necessarily arguments, but like differences of opinion.
Yeah, or like debates. I'm just talking about just like the day-to-day simple shit about. We can even talk about a certain restaurant, or we can talk about, I don't know, it's hard for me to come up with an example, but anything that would have two different sides, like one person thinks this, the other person thinks that. We can even talk about the LeBron or Kobe thing, or who's better, right? It's just hard for me to get like angry or disagree with someone, or because they think something like, I don't care, like, this is what you think that's good for you, and I'm just gonna hold my opinion too. Like, I'm gonna try to maybe like convince you, maybe to see maybe like what I see.
Yeah.
But if you don't see it, that's totally fine. I don't know. It's, if I enter a room, right, and there's 100 people there, or let's say not 100, let's say there's 10 people.
Okay.
I never want to be the person that knows everything in that room. There's many people who would love to come in there and not necessarily say, I know everything or I know more than you guys, but a lot of people love to be smart.
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with being smart and knowing.
Just knowing shit.
Yeah, just knowing shit is great. I want to know shit.
Right.
But like, if I would rather be the person in that room that doesn't know, like, I have zero problem being the person who doesn't know shit in that room.
Yeah, I don't like that.
See? So if I enter the room and out of those 10 people, I know the least, I'm in a good room. Because I don't care about my embarrassment. Like, who cares? I'm going to talk to person number 10. What do you know about this and that? They're going to teach me some shit. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Cool, I learned one thing. I'm going to talk to everyone, and then I leave the room. Don't you want
to be able to like contribute to like conversation or something like that?
Well, I'm sure there's something that they can learn from me as well.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
But I don't want to talk to 10 people, and anything they tell me, I already know. Then what am I doing there? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's not always about like informing each other of things we don't know. You know, I don't know. I think
it is. It is, I think.
No, because sometimes there's a conversation where like we both know the two sides and both people stand on two different sides.
Okay, can we leave the sides away from this conversation and let's just talk about new information?
Okay, like, so now we're just talking about basically like not having ego
in learning, in accepting
the fact that you just don't know things.
Right. I love me, and you know that about me. I love not knowing things.
Yeah, I mean, I can't agree with that. It's not like my favorite thing. I don't like not knowing things when a lot of people around me know something about something, because then I feel like I can't even talk about it because I don't know. I don't like being in places where I don't have enough information about a topic where I feel like I'm not confident enough in my knowledge to discuss whatever it is that we're talking about.
Why would you even go there then?
Exactly my point.
Go to somewhere where you know your shit then. If
yeah, but I mean, I don't have to like be well versed, but I'm just saying I think that you are talking about it a little bit in the extreme of like, I love going somewhere where I don't know anything. And that doesn't really that's not really realistic.
Well, but then you can sit down and learn or listen to someone tell you things.
So give me an example of that.
Okay, well, let's say we go somewhere or I go somewhere and they talk about geography.
Okay.
Right? Everybody knows like what happened in this country.
Can you come up with a different example that's like more like relatable to day-to-day life?
Oh,
because like that doesn't happen that often.
No, but I mean, day-to-day life. I mean, how many people do you see that?
Like, for example, right? Let me give you an example. I was at dinner with some friends.
Okay.
And I forget how, but we started talking about this Drake reel. This is a very simple, innocent thing. This Drake video that he's like in the club and he's doing this like a bunch of hand shit. And then somebody made a stitch of it.
What's a stitch?
A stitch on Instagram and TikTok is basically when like I see a video and then I take that video and play it, but then I add my thing at the like after the video. Mm-hmm. So if it's someone like drinking a drink, then it plays that, and then me drinking the drink or whatever. Okay. So the Drake video I'm talking about is that he's like in the club. There's a lot of like blue lights and shit, and the way he's dancing is very nasty. Mm-hmm. It's like he licks his hand and then he's like doing stupid shit, you know, very Drake like, just not. Anyways, and then someone made a stitch of that video where it shows the other point of view where he's doing all that and then he like puts his hand in someone's drink and then like pushes it on their face. Like, anyways, so it was funny. And then I was at dinner with these friends and we were eating whatever, and I think we were talking about it was happening right after like LeBron had just reached his all-time score. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about like the people in the videos that were saying like, congratulations, LeBron, for like your achievement, everything. And then they had Drake there. Mm-hmm. And then me and this one person were talking about it because we had seen it. Mm-hmm. So we had all the context that we needed to have this conversation. Right. Meanwhile, the other two people at the table didn't see any of this. They didn't see the LeBron thing. They didn't see the message with Drake. They didn't have that context. They also didn't have the context of that reel because we were talking about that reel and all that. So they didn't have the context of anything. And I could see how there was this embarrassing thing happening a little bit on their side, because then the two of us were like trying to explain it. Mm-hmm. But if you didn't see it, it's hard to explain. Right. If you didn't experience it, to have the true, honest context of the conversation. So then it was kind of like, okay, then just like never mind. And then we stopped talking about it. Mm-hmm. And in that moment, I remember thinking how like a little bit uncomfortable I would feel if I was on the other side where like someone's talking about something and they're laughing and it's really funny and I have no idea what they're talking about and they try to explain it to me and I still kind of don't get it. And they're like, okay, actually, never mind. And I would be like, damn, I wish I knew so I could like get in it.
Right. I understand.
And that's where my ego gets hurt a little bit.
So
for me, because I would be like, damn, that's too bad.
Okay.
And I wish I was like in.
I totally understand that. And I wish I was in that too, because you just want to laugh with people and shit, right?
Exactly.
But I don't feel that embarrassment. Like you always associate that with like ego gets like touched and embarrassment. Why do you feel like that?
Because I want to know shit. I want to be that person that knows the things that are happening, knows the new stuff, is in touch with the things. And you know why? Because the alternative, when you know things, is so much better than not knowing things.
It is.
When I know things, the conversations I have with people, the relatability that I get with people, that I'm like knowing a lot of things, it gives you a good playing field for meeting new people, for starting up conversations. Because if they bring up a topic and you know something about it, you're like, ooh, common point right there, and you have a whole conversation.
That's true, but I feel like, and that's a really good point, but I feel like we're like talking about two different things.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like, because I'm like that too. Obviously, I want to know what people talk about.
Yeah.
You know, but
I think the difference is just that when you don't know, it's not as big of a deal for you.
When I don't know, I just literally, even English, right? I never, even till this day, something like a word can be so simple and so common in the English language. Mm-hmm. If I don't know what that word means, mid-conversation, I will ask you, oh, what does that word mean? To an American, they might think, damn, I knew that word since I was like 3 years old.
I always think 4. Like a few times before I ask that if I don't know a word.
Because I ask her right away because then I want to understand what they're saying to me. And true. Sometimes in high school or even now, when I say, like, what's that? I'm trying to think of an example.
Yeah, like, there was something I feel like just the other day that someone said something and then you were like, what does that mean? Yeah.
So they would say that word and I would say, hold on, what does that mean? And they would be like, they would stop for a second. Like, how the fuck do you, because I speak like so fluently. Mm-hmm. They think like, how do you not know?
Especially if they don't really know you.
Yeah. But then I tell them, where, like when I learn English or like where I'm from. And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, sorry, it means, then they feel bad all of a sudden. Oh, I didn't mean to. I'm just like, but I don't care to ask that.
And if anything, it's on them for making you feel like that.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what, it's with things like that I mean that I don't have like an ego to ask things. Because if I did have ego, I would just carry on with the conversation.
Me.
But then the whole time, I don't know what they're talking about. But because I'm ashamed and embarrassed, I'm not going to ask. Like, I love asking questions. And it's okay. You should know that.
Oh, I mean, you love asking questions to the point where, like, you'll actually ask a question before you even try to figure it out yourself.
Like what?
And I think maybe that's part of ego, too. A little bit. If, like, I don't want people to, like, I don't want to need help. Just in general, like.
So, wait, my ego or yours?
No, mine.
Oh, yeah, right.
Like, I will do everything.
Let me give you an example. If we go grocery shopping, right? Let's say we go to Home Depot, okay? If you don't know what Home Depot is, it's a big store where you can buy, like, hammers and screws and
like
wood.
Home improvement.
Right. So we'll go in there, and let's say Alia is looking for screwdriver number 36. It's a huge-ass store. You got to find this little thing, right? Alia will look for that shit
in the whole
she will take an hour until she finds it. Me, I will go to the aisle, I'll go down once, back up again twice, and then I would just literally go ask the as soon as I can ask someone a question, I'll go ask them, hey, where's screwdriver number 36? That's it.
If anything, before you even go in the aisle, you'll just ask someone, where can I find this?
That's actually funny. Yeah. I wanted to not make it seem like as bad, but if I'm looking for screw number 36, as soon as I walk in the store, I'm like, yo, where's the screw?
Like, you don't even, anything else, like, if you're looking for a bathroom, if you need to get something, like as soon as we get in that place, Yoni doesn't even try to figure it out for himself. You just go and ask that person. And I am so the opposite.
That is
and you know that as I explain it, I feel like if you're hearing this, just know that I can recognize that I got this from you growing up.
She does the same.
She does the same. Like she always wants to like figure things out herself and like doesn't want
it's great
to help.
It's good, but the way I am, I just want to be in and out. I don't want to waste an hour looking for, especially when I know that this person right next to me knows exactly where that shit is at.
That's true.
So why do I want to I hate looking for shit, first of all. I hate it.
Yeah.
So if I know that this person can tell me go to aisle 11, it's going to be on the right, that's it. I'm at the store in 2 minutes.
That's true.
Instead of like an hour and a half, but I found it myself.
That's true.
I don't have that thing that I want to.
Yeah, I do.
And that's not necessarily even a bad thing.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it gets in the way though.
Yeah, I just don't.
You know? And then other times it's kind of funny because Yoni would ask a question and then the guy's like, yo, can you not figure it out for yourself? Because I remember I'm thinking that's what they're thinking.
I don't even think that much.
Because if like when I worked in food service, I would always be like, did you even try to figure it out yourself before coming in asking me while I'm busy doing some other shit? Yeah. Like people asking a bunch of questions or things like that where I'm like, it's right here. The password for the Wi-Fi is right in front of you. Like, did you even try to look for it before you asked me?
Yeah, I don't want to make it seem like I never tried. Like I tried, I gave it one attempt. If I go to that one place where I think it is, if it's not there, I'm calling somebody.
Yeah, I think it also depends just on like the thing. Because at a department store, I never find the thing that I'm looking for. So I get that. But then, so there's like different challenges.
But you will ask the questions after 30 minutes of looking yourself. You just wasted 30 minutes of your life.
It's true, but that's because I believe in myself that I will find it.
Well,
and I take it
believe in the 30 minutes.
It's a little challenge, you know?
Okay. No, that's good. I wonder how our kids will be when we have them.
That's a good question. Because I really think I took it from my mom.
I think
it's like this little bit of stubbornness attached to it.
I'm stubborn in other things.
What are you stubborn in?
I want to say with just following my photography career. Like no matter how good our things are or how I can't really see like the future, you just got to kind of keep going. And let's say there's other opportunities that I could do at the same time. If I believe in this one thing, I will stay in it. Whether I'm doing good or bad, I'm just going to be like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And I'm going to continue to push this thing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I can miss other things, but I'm so stubborn in just continuing, to push for that one thing.
Yeah.
Stubborn was a thing that I didn't know for a word.
As a word?
That I didn't know for the longest.
Yeah. I mean, I think stubborn, I don't know. Because as you were explaining that, I don't know if I would have considered that thing about you to be called like stubbornness. But yeah, I mean, I guess that works.
Yeah. Like I remember there were like different jobs that I could have done instead of like doing photography, even when it wasn't going so well. I'm like, no, I want to keep doing that.
Yeah.
You know?
I get that.
Yeah.
I want to introduce a little bit of how you have said many times, like to me and maybe even on the podcast and before, of just how you say and describe yourself that you have no ego in this relationship. What exactly does that mean?
Okay. When I say I have no ego in this relationship, it means that I don't try to be cool.
Okay.
I don't try to seem cool. I don't try to do things to make you think that I'm like a cool guy. Mm-hmm. And I know you're trying to see how is that even attached to ego, right?
No, I get that, but I feel like that's not what you mean when you say it.
Yeah. No, it's not, but it's part of it.
Okay.
When I'm wrong about something, you're the first person I'll tell you
that you're wrong.
Yeah. Why did I say it like that? I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I have no ego in this relationship is because it makes so much sense in my head.
No, I mean, I get it. Would you say I have ego in this relationship?
Well, the only ego that you have is the thing about like knowing things.
I think it's more like personal. Like, it's not necessarily attached to our relationship.
No, yeah, it's not. So yeah, that's like the personal thing, but it is in our relationship because sometimes I deal with it too. We can talk about something, and you know something you do sometimes. It's like if I tell you something that you didn't know, you didn't know about this piece of information before.
Yeah.
But I tell you about it. I rarely see you say like, "Oh, I didn't." I guess you do admit to not knowing things, but like it doesn't flow. I feel like you like everything I tell you, you kind of like already know.
I mean, I would say I know a lot of shit.
Yeah, which is good.
But I don't know, like, obviously don't know everything.
But I feel like there's like some things sometimes when you don't know.
I think you have this not fallen, but like you retained this impression of me when it hasn't been that way for a while. Like, yeah, definitely when we met.
Okay, maybe that just
stayed with you because I'm not like that anymore. Especially maybe with other people that I don't know or I'm not as close to, but like in our relationship and between us, like if I don't know some shit, I don't know it. Like I'm not gonna. But if I know something about a topic, I'm not gonna say I don't know something about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Maybe you might think that I don't, and then when I say that I do and I talk about it like I do, but you thought I didn't, then you think maybe that I don't, and I'm just pretending that I do. But I'm telling you right now that I recognize completely.
That was definitely
something that I was doing at the beginning of our relationship. I just needed to know everything, and like if I didn't know something, I kind of like there was this energy about me that I wouldn't just say like I don't know shit, you know.
So yeah, when you ask me, you know, when I say I don't have an ego in this relationship, I'm really struggling to explain this because
so I was actually reading that earlier. I looked it up because I knew that I wanted to ask you about it.
Looked what up?
What ego, like a ego relationship is. And what it kind of means is basically like you attaching a lot of your relationship to yourself rather than to the other person. So your relationship is about how is it benefiting you? How is their love making you feel?
Oh, so that's if I had an ego.
Yeah, so just in general, like having ego in a romantic relationship kind of manifests in that way. Similarly, if you have ego in a relationship, you often also care about how your relationship is perceived to other people. It's like a big component of like you care how your friends or whoever sees your relationship. I would say that that's something I've never, ever, ever cared about. Like, I really don't care how other people see our relationship. I don't care to hear other people's opinions about it. Anytime people offer their opinions about it, I'm like, I really don't care what you think. Because you're not in it. You don't know. How it's seen from the outside can be very different than how it is. Especially because we in this relationship are so private.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even at the beginning when like my mom, again, just talking about my mom, but how she was like, do you and Yoni touch each other? Or do you and Yoni ever like cuddle or are like cute together? And that's because I guess around my family, like we just were never really PDA-y, touchy-feely, kissy, like in that way. And we still aren't. But she asked me that because she didn't see it. And I guess she was like, not concerned, but she was just wondering like why that is. And I think it's so funny because I was like, if you only knew, like you just have no idea because we don't show that part of our relationship to others because it's for us. It's not for other people.
Yeah.
But then if you have ego in your relationship, if somebody says that, you might alter how you want to be perceived when you're in other people's like purview, you know?
Yeah.
And it's about like, how does their love affect me? Are they loving me the way that I want to be loved to like the extreme? Like it's very much the whole relationship revolves around how you feel and doesn't really regard the other person.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So I think that's a little bit more of, which I think it's still valid, because I would say you don't have any of that. Like, if anything, and I would say in that sense, like, I don't have ego in our relationship. Like, from the beginning, I was so like, I want to let you know that I love you. It's not about you telling me that you love me back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Damn, that's a good point. Like, I kept just thinking about how can I explain this better? Me not having an ego in this relationship.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's like, if you're good, I'm good.
Yeah, you say that all the time.
I say sometimes I would randomly text Alia this shit, or I would just tell you like during the day, because it's really true.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care like what's going on. Like, if I know that you're good and you're having a good day, or sometimes I would just like randomly ask you like, and I ask you that all the time. I feel like how do you feel today? Mm-hmm. Or like, what's the big thing on your mind, right? Like, I just want to know if there's something that I can like maybe help you with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do ask them.
You know, I don't care if I have to drive 30 minutes out. I will literally do that, come back and get you a smoothie from like the mall or something, just for you to like feel good, because it's so important to me.
Yeah, and I know that that's the truth.
Like, to me, that's
every night, or almost every night, I have my little night routine. And you love to take it to the next level. And I like sit on the couch and put on my show or whatever. And I might like put on the little blanket that sits on our couch. But then Yoni's like, he goes to the bedroom. He grabs the big blanket. We call it the big bitch. He grabs the duvet cover and 2 pillows, or all the pillows, and he brings them here, and he like makes sure that I'm good. He takes off like these back pillows from the couch, so I have like all the space. He brings me a drink. He brings me a snack. He's like, I want to make sure your setup is good.
I don't know why I do that.
No, but I can tell that it's so like, it actually makes you feel good.
Oh yeah,
that I feel good.
Yeah, it's not even like,
and it's like the truth.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I like doing that. I don't know, and once like I know that you're good, I know that like I'll be good too.
Do you feel that you give me a little bit more of that than I give you?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about that? Like, that's something that...
I just know, because it's not fair for me to expect for someone else to like do this the same. Just because I do something, I never expected back. Ever. It's like, I don't even think about, I never thought about that until just now.
Yeah, me neither.
You know?
Because I'm thinking somebody listening to this, they might expect, okay, but what does Alia do for Yoni?
Alia, she does, you do so many other things also that I may not necessarily do, you know? But this is why I feel like these relationships works because we don't keep count. Like, I did this, so now you got to do this, or like I do this. Maybe only
if it's like house chores, you know, like if I clean the house, I'm like, okay,
it has nothing
I did all
to do
this,
with the
so
house.
You take the garbage out, you know.
Wait, you saying?
I'm saying like maybe that's the only time that it would be kind of like not a measuring thing, but a little bit. Like, if I cleaned some shit, I'll tell like you like, oh, I cleaned the house, so like, can you take out the garbage?
Yeah, like the other day you cleaned up the whole house, right?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, and then you put all the trash in the front, or like you did laundry, which I still have to put away. But, you know, and I would just, you know, take the trash out, fold the laundry. I love folding clothes anyways. Yeah,
but I would say it. I would be like, okay, I did the laundry, but can you put it away, please?
And it's fair.
Yeah.
You know, so I think this is why, and we never really spoke about it. Like, it wasn't a thing that we were like, all right, in this relationship, if this happens, this is how you're going to feel about it. And then this is how...
What are you referring to?
No, I'm saying in this relationship, why it works is because we keep it very like, we see each other. Like, we understand you did A, B, C, and D. I'm going to do the rest. Just it's like a common understanding.
Yeah. I mean, no, but I would say like we still speak about it.
No, yeah. If it needs to be communicated, yeah.
Yeah, like we still communicate about it, but I don't think it's ever like been imbalanced.
No.
You know? Yeah. And I think it's just like that's how it came naturally to us.
Yeah. So if I'm ever just laying down on the couch, like, try to bring the big blanket for me too sometimes.
But the thing is, you just never lay down on the couch.
That's true. She's always there.
Like, you know?
Actually, I have a photo that I'm going to post soon of Alia just on the couch.
Actually, after this episode, we should post it on the Instagram.
Okay.
So we give people the picture of what we're talking about.
Oh, wow. We have the exact photo for that.
Yeah, and we just got it from the film store.
The setup that Alia just described about me bringing her the laptop, not laptop.
The blanket.
The blanket, the tea and all of that. We have the exact photo of that moment. And it's like that every night.
Yeah. Actually, every night.
Yeah.
It's like my night routine.
So if you're listening to this, check the podcast. We're going to post it and you're going to see it there.
The pod Instagram.
Yeah. If we had to make a cover for each episode, that would be the cover photo for this episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Actually, I want to post it like maybe tomorrow and then just say this photo will make sense once you listen to the episode.
Oh my God. Yep. That's good. Okay.
That's going to be good.
Cool.
Okay. So I feel like we covered it all, right? In terms like, you know, not all, because I think also like ego, pride, they run deep.
Yeah, that's
as you've clearly established.
Yeah. Let us know what you think about the whole ego thing. I'm really interested in seeing. I talked to Ian about. I've talked to him about ego and pride before.
Yeah.
He always tells me I need to have like more, not more ego. I don't want to put words in his mouth.
To have more
ego. Like I need to have that more. Like with my photography, for example, I need to be more confident. But it's not even that I'm not confident. I'm just like so like laid back. I would do my work, put it out. I don't really push it on people's faces. Like I would just kind of like chill and think, okay, I love this photo, but I'm not like, I never think I'm the best.
Yeah.
I never think I'm like better than others. I just think I have a different style. Mm-hmm. Like honestly,
I think he means more like just pushing it out, like promoting it and putting it out and stuff like that.
No, yes, but he also means to tell me that you're good at this shit.
And do what?
No, that's it. Because he feels like I don't.
Oh, he feels like you doubt yourself a little bit.
Not doubt it, but I just don't act like it. I'm just I'm not really. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do.
Oh, I get it. I mean, yeah, because
but he just tells me like you're the Picasso of this shit all the time.
Because. Which
I appreciate also, you know.
The opposite, would you say the opposite of ego is humble?
Yeah. And I think I could be humble like to a fault maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's a such thing being humble to a fault.
No, I can see it a little bit because you need, sometimes I would say.
You can get away in opportunities.
Yes. And also maybe like the energy that is attached to the work, not necessarily like the outcome of like what your photos look like, but just like the business side of things. Mm-hmm. Maybe if you had like more of that ego, it would have this kind of different drive behind it.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
You know, because like with the podcast, I would say with the podcast, you're not as humble. With the podcast, I would say you have a little bit more of ego. And maybe that's because you have, like, it's a shared creative outlet because it's both of us. So when you talk about it in a way that has less ego in it, you know? Mm-hmm. Because when it's with your photography, you know that everything that you talk about is talking about yourself in a way. When you're talking about the podcast, you're talking about something that we both contribute to. So people don't feel like, damn, he's really talking about his shit like in that way. It's like shared.
And you know, even though there's nothing wrong with talking about your own work because you're proud of, you know, I'm talking about photography. There's nothing wrong with people who do that. Mm-hmm. But it just really just doesn't come natural to me at all. Yeah. Because I just feel like I want to put it out there. And then if you see it, you see it. If you like it, you like it. And that's it. Yeah. I don't know if it's like
no, I do think that there's
like I would hate to be just like super obnoxious and just I don't know.
And I think it's within measure.
Yeah.
You know? Because
definitely.
I talk about the podcast differently than I talk about my YouTube. You know, when somebody
it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, when somebody asks me like what my handle is for YouTube, I low-key don't want to give it to them.
Yeah. With the podcast, you let them know.
With the podcast, I'm like, here's all the info. Here's all the accounts.
Yeah.
Because it's not just me. But when I talk about the YouTube, I cringe at myself a little bit because I hope that they don't think that I think that I'm all that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the stuff that you do on YouTube will speak for itself. Like, if, when people see it, they're going to make their own judgment. Same with my photography.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing I say about my photography is if I have something cool coming up, or if I'm going to like a fun event, or whenever my book will be ready, my first photo book. Like, I'll let people know. I'll put it right here on the table while we record the podcast.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm going to put it everywhere. But I feel like I hate to talk too much about it because it's such a visual thing. I just want you to look at my photos and feel what you feel. And I really don't need to speak on it.
Yeah,
I really don't need to.
I get it.
And I don't mean in a way of like, oh, it's going to blow you away. I'm just mean like, just look at it and think what you think.
Yeah. But could you say the same thing about the podcast?
About the podcasts? No, because there's so many things we're doing. Like, we got some things in the works, and it's just more it's a weekly thing. We get response right away from our listeners,
and it's more direct response.
It's more direct, and also
it's more tangible.
It's constant communication with our listeners all the time. Like, in the comments, you talk.
So you don't
I
feel like there's this.
I feel like how many people I feel like I know just like from the comments and DMs.
Yeah, especially if you see the same people over and
over. Oh, totally. Like, there's definitely like maybe I want to say maybe like 20 people that if I just see like
their
profile picture,
you just know
I recognize them. Yeah, for sure. But so if you're listening to this, you know who you are because we probably spoke like
if anything
2 days ago.
Last thing I want to say about ego and pride is, to me, when someone's ego is like the biggest thing in the room, it's actually hilarious. No, because everybody's thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Like when you're at a dinner table or like in a conversation, and the way that this one person is talking about themselves.
Oh, that makes me uncomfortable.
It's so funny to me.
To me, it's not funny. To me, it makes me like I want to get up and leave the table.
No. To me, I'm literally laughing inside because I'm like, you really think you're all that, but you're so not. Like, because people, it's a specific type of person.
But what if they really are all that? Like, what if
No, because nobody's all that. Because if you're all that, you're not gonna have to tell yourself that you're all that.
Or tell other people you're all that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You know that if I have a photo shoot with like, I don't know, like a magazine that I really wanted to shoot with, or with a specific model or artist, or let's say I just shot an album cover for, I don't know, Rihanna, right? New album came out and I shot it, right? I feel like if people would ask me, hey, Yoni, like at a restaurant, for example, right?
I think you wouldn't work there anymore if you shot with Rihanna.
I know, but let's say I did, right?
Yeah.
And they say, hey, Yoni, what'd you do this weekend? Like, I'm not going to say I shot the album cover for Rihanna. Personally, I'm just going to say I shot it like a cool artist. So I shot with an artist that, I don't know, maybe I might say it's to Rihanna.
Actually, I think you wouldn't.
Right? I don't think I will. I say I had a cool photo shoot. It's in I don't know.
You would just say, oh yeah, I just had like a really cool photo shoot, or I had like a shoot for an album cover.
Yeah, like I would not mention exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Because then the reaction and like, I don't know, it makes me feel like weird.
It will make you feel uncomfortable. And that's actually so funny. I can totally picture that whole interaction. Like if that happened and someone would be like, oh damn, like that's crazy.
So what am I supposed?
You would be like, yeah, like you have this way that when someone's like really gassing you up, you have this way of like.
It makes me feel so uncomfortable.
It does. I've seen it before.
But I also just don't think that being the other way, there's anything wrong with that. You can be proud of that.
But that's not really what I was talking about.
You know,
I was talking about other situations.
Okay, before you get into that, I just want to say with the same album cover for Rihanna, let's say that happens in a setting when there's like 5 people around. And everyone is kind of catching up a little bit. And it's like, hey, Yoni, like, what were you up to lately? Or like, what did you do this weekend? And just yesterday, I had the shoot for the album cover. I might not mention that. I don't know why. Like, I might, if they're my friends, I will.
They probably already known about it, yeah.
Yeah, they already know about it. If they're my friends, they already know about it. But
oh yeah, if it's
just like kind of strangers,
really know,
and I don't really know.
Say that. That's weird.
Yeah. What were you saying?
I don't know. I was thinking more also like in social settings, the way that people talk about. I guess it goes hand in hand with what you were saying, but just the way that people talk about themselves, there's a specific way that you can talk about yourself that is very ego driven.
Yeah.
And you can kind of say the same thing without sounding like an asshole. Because to me, people that have that type of ego, like that high, are going towards that like little asshole vibe. For me personally. Because I'm like, damn, you're so full of yourself, like relax. And it gives me this weird like ick about them.
Yeah, that's why I never want to talk, tell people that I shoot with Rihanna.
But you don't.
One day. Rihanna, anyways. If you're listening to this, just respond to my DM. I DM'd you like 5 years ago.
Oh my God. You know what's so funny to me when I see those videos online that is like wives laughing at their husband because they DM'd like Messi or someone and saying like happy birthday. Like they DM some like idol or someone they're like a really good like fan of.
Oh.
Or like they like birthday. DM'd LeBron or something saying like happy birthday or like, oh, crazy game or like congrats.
Yeah, I've never done that.
And it's so funny that people would do that because like nobody would see it.
Yeah, I've never done that.
Yeah.
But if you do that, I mean, hey, you might get a response one day. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyways, what?
I just wanted to welcome people to the segment.
Oh. Yeah, so let's get into the off-topic segment. Cue the music, DJ, as in Yoni when you're editing this.
Yeah, the music been playing.
Off-topic things. What's been happening this week?
Yeah, you tell me. What do you think?
Well, I want to start off with just like the music. I feel like the music is a good way into it. Like what you've been listening to. Well, like every week, that's the whole point. It's like every week you listen to a new thing. And I would say that this past week, a couple days there, I was listening to this music that I actually showed you. This artist. I need to find him or her. I actually don't know. Or them. Hold on. Just stay with me. The artist is called Berlioz. And
is that the song that goes like this? New York City in 1940s. Yeah. Yo, that song is fire.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we could probably play that if it was on. We can't play that song if it's on YouTube.
No, we can't.
Yeah, we can't play that.
We're not going to be able to play it.
Anyways, we are building a whole new playlist. If you also want some like good music we listen to, what's like the playlist that we already have? Just on chill days?
Yeah. I changed it to WTJ Radio.
Oh, okay.
Just to make it like a pod playlist. Yeah. So, but I feel like I should change it back to
yeah, because I want to have like several playlists.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a few playlists if you want to check them out on Spotify, but we're building a new one. And I didn't know that house music sounded like this. And I think maybe house music is like a spectrum of sound. Mm-hmm. It's not so much like one kind. Because the same way that like rap, you can have, like Jay-Z or Drake, or you have like, what's his name? Mac Miller or
21 Savage.
Yeah. Or what's his name? Amine. It's like very different.
Amine, one of my favorite rappers. If you don't know him, check him out.
Yeah, you should. But anyway, so I've been listening to this artist and they only have 4 songs or 5 songs.
4 songs.
Just released this past year and they're really, really, really cool.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to that and I highly recommend you check them out.
Yeah. For me, For me, what I've been listening to, I think a lot of just old school. This past week, I've been listening to a lot of like old school R&B.
Like old school, does that mean like 2000s, 90s?
2000s was like my favorite era.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I was growing up. Pharrell Williams. Usher was one of my favorite artists of all time. Still is. Actually came out with a new song. It's called Glue. It's pretty good.
He just came out with a new song called Glue.
Oh yeah.
It's good?
It's so good.
All
it's
right.
fire. Yeah. I played that actually a lot this week. That might have been like my most.
I'm surprised
played.
I haven't heard it because you always play music in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one thing that I actually discovered about not myself, but I really enjoy silence.
I don't.
Like sometimes I just need nothing. But Yoni is like, as soon as he gets in the car, the first thing he does is plugs in the aux. As soon as you have like any moment in the house when there's any silence, you play something. You play a podcast, you listen to an interview, you play some music. Like for me, sometimes I would say I'm like 60-40 silence, 60 something. And you're more like 90-10.
No,
maybe
it's more like
80-20. Really?
Yeah. Actually, no. I can never actually.
You always got something going.
Yeah. I want to tell people, you know what's funny? Since we did the phone addiction episode, was that the last one? Mm-hmm. Anytime I would post something on my story, everyone would be like, and then let's say they respond, right? And then I'll respond to whatever they said. They would be like, Yoni, I didn't expect a response from you. I was just like, well, shit.
Like get off your phone?
Yeah, get off your phone. Or some people would be like, Yoni, get off your phone. Or like I would post a random story of something. And then they'd be like, you didn't have to take that picture. Or like put your phone away. You know,
people are getting on your ass.
Yeah, no, he's so funny.
That's funny.
And I appreciate it because anytime someone did say that, I was like, you know what, that is right. Like I don't have to be on it, you know?
True.
I don't know. I just love like responding. So I guess that's just like my thing.
Yeah. I would say one other thing, like conversation that you were actually part of over the past weekend. My friend Brenda and I hung out, and then Yoni joined us at one point, and we started talking about just like friendships, and then the idea of friendships, and we were talking about how when Brenda and I first met, I told her how she asked me like, so like, do you have any friends? Like any other friends, you know, who are your friends? Blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, I don't really have like a lot of friends, babe. Are you paying attention to what I'm saying?
No, I'm listening.
Okay. I was just saying like, I don't really have a lot of friends. And I also feel like I don't really need friends. Like I'm good to not have friends because I have you. Because you truly are like my friend first. And that's how I feel. Mm-hmm. Like we're really best friends. And then we're in a relationship.
Oh, babe.
You know? And she was like, I get that. But I think there's something to be said about having like your friends outside of your relationship. And when she first said that, I was like, nah, yeah, I mean, you can believe that, but I'm good. And I think I said that because I wasn't actively looking for friends. I was like, okay, I don't have friends, so I don't have friends. Like, it is what it is. But if I meet someone, like now she's my friend, you know, who I'm like really close to. But that's because it just happened that we became friends. But I wasn't like actively looking for friends.
Yeah.
Maybe I would if I wouldn't be in this relationship.
Is it weird to look for friends? Like I'm looking for a friend.
I don't think it's weird.
I don't think it's weird either.
I don't think it's weird.
But I just feel like it's always better when it just happens.
Oh, yeah. Totally. I mean, not to put my sister on the spot right now, but she is actively, like, going on.
How you gonna say not to?
But then I
do it.
Well, I guess, I don't know. She's going on, like, friend dates, you know?
Yeah.
So she's just, like, trying to, like, meet people. Because, like, when you get to a certain age, if you're not going to school and if your job, you don't have any people that you connect with at your job, like, where are you meeting people? Especially because, like, if you don't have, like, a person to get you into meeting other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyways, I thought that was interesting because I've always looked at female friendships as like any other friendships. And I never really compared it to like male friendships or whatever. But then I realized how there are certain things that I can't really talk about or like, it's not that I can't talk about it, but when I talk about it to you, because you're not a woman, you don't understand certain things about like my life living as a woman, you know?
Yeah, that's fine. Totally understand that.
Yeah, so that was a realization I had.
That's good. It was fun hanging out with you guys, actually.
Yeah.
We talked about friendships and how like it's kind of like my relationship with each one of my friends is a little bit different. And I think it's important to have friends for certain things.
And it's also okay for your friend to only not satisfy, but only like your friends don't need to cover every single ounce of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's also just unfair to expect someone to want to talk to me about basketball, photography, podcast, music, soccer. There's not another person like that.
Except yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I think sometimes we think about it that we want a friend to fulfill all these boxes.
Yeah, like I can one of my friends doesn't really know much about photography. But it's unfair for me to be like, talk to him about photography all the time. Because he's like,
yeah,
I support you. I love what you do. But I really don't know shit about this.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
To me, a picture is a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember after we hung out, you said, what did you say? I was like, so how did you like hang out with the girls? And then you said something like, "Oh, I mean, I was just hanging out. I wasn't thinking I was the only, like one guy hanging out with two girls."
Yeah, I think about that. Even if it was like 5 of you,
right?
Like I wouldn't care. You know, I don't know. Like I feel like I can have like the most interesting conversations with women.
Really?
Yes, it's so because with friends, with guys, and I don't want to generalize and say with every guy, but a lot of guys are.
In your experience?
In my experience, and the people that I come around, not everyone. I can tell there's a few who I feel like I can have like a more genuine relationship with or conversation with. But a lot of the people that I also meet are just very cool. Like they're just like the cool guys that they might not talk about some vulnerable shit all the time, which is fine. I understand, you know?
Yeah.
But
you love getting vulnerable.
Yeah. But with women, I feel like
that's our shit.
Yeah. And I feel like I can do that. And I also feel like there's something, I don't know what it is that I do, but that makes people open up to me. People open up to me all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that's not even me asking or wanting them to, but I just talk about my experience and then they're like, I can literally just tell this person like my whole life right now.
Because when somebody like
I don't feel what's the word I'm looking for? Not like approachable.
No, you are.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about like the opposite of intimidating.
Is approachable.
Yeah. Anyways, what were you saying?
No, I was gonna say that that's also something that when you meet someone for the first time or you're starting a new friendship, you kind of always are trying to like match the other person's, I guess, boundaries, but also just the direction to which the friendship is going and like how far it's going. And you kind of like test it out a little bit to see how, like, can I talk about something that and show that I'm being a little bit vulnerable and talk about some more serious personal shit. And then when one person takes the chance to do that, then the next will match that because they're like, they feel safe enough to tell me this. So then the other person starts to feel safe enough to do that.
But not everyone is like that.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Some people will get that vulnerable information and they'll be like, oh shit, this is too much.
And they don't match it.
Let me get out of here.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah. And I don't know. And I would say that from my experience, like women are a little bit more inclined to get into shit like that and really like tell each other the shit that's like in their life and what's happening.
It depends. I mean, you can't generalize on
no, I'm saying like my experience
side.
with other women.
Yeah.
And like talking and sometimes even talking to like people that I've just met.
Yeah.
you know?
I don't know. Talking to women, to me, it's like, is the best thing because like you're so different than me. Like my life experience and another woman's life perspective is so different. And I'm so, I'm all about just like different perspective.
I do
and like,
feel that.
Like,
yeah.
Okay. And you're a girl and, you come from this part of the world and not even you, right? Just like someone else. That's why I have so many conversations at the restaurant because I'm just so intrigued by other people's lives.
Yeah.
And most of the conversations are just with women, then it's not with a lot of like men that I talk to.
Yeah, no, I feel it. And I understand too, like when I have certain conversations with men, it's like an opportunity to kind of explore the other side of things. Because we can't like sit here and say like men and women are the same because they're not. Do they deserve the same like rights and access to the same things? Absolutely. But men and women are not the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not.
You know what I mean? We can't pretend that they are. We're very different in very beautiful ways. Each one is very different. And also, if you're on one side or the other or whatever, like that also is very fluid. Yeah. And your experience as a woman can be very different than someone else's experience as a woman and like so forth. So, and it's a beautiful thing. I love seeing like diverse experiences.
Yeah.
It's so exciting to hear like a refreshing experience or a refreshing opinion or like perspective on something that I saw so one way and then someone gives me like another side to it.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's beautiful.
Cool. I think we are good. If you made it to the end of the pod,
comment,
perspective.
Ooh. I was trying to think of something that we just said.
Yeah. Perspective is the word to let us know that you watched it all the way to the end.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed today's episode.
I had a good time.
I hope my energy came back like pretty quick.
How are you feeling?
No, I feel fine.
Yeah.
It was just the beginning there that was a little.
I knew it. I was like, you're trying to be dramatic for the podcast.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, we hope you have a great week ahead of you and your week is going well. And yeah, I hope that. Oh, also happy spring.
Oh, today's the first day.
Today's the first day of spring. We had like a beautiful weekend, or more like one beautiful day. In Seattle, it was 60 degrees. It felt like summer. And I think that I had not been happier in like 6 months.
Yeah, that was definitely the most beautiful day in Seattle this year. So far.
100%. Yeah. So to more sun, I hope wherever you are, there is sun. And if there isn't, just look for the sun within you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, shout out to your dog. Shout out to everyone in your house that's listening to this. If you put in this on the TV, we want to tell you, shout out to everyone that watches the pod on the TV, okay?
It's so fun. It's like they really set it up for themselves.
No, but like some people literally have like, when I repost it on my story, they'll have like a whole setup. Like there's like a little drink. Some people have a poppy on the table.
Snack,
some
popcorn.
people got this. And then, so when other people see it, they respond and be like, they'll say something about the episode, it was good or whatever, but then they would be like, but can we talk about this person's aesthetic in the house?
Yeah, and like their whole setup.
Yeah, so if you're watching this and this is you, shout out to you. And yeah, that's it. I'm ready to go. I need to like eat some food or something.
Yeah,
I was gonna go. Yeah,
you know what I'm thinking about?
What?
I'm thinking about those little bread little non-bread pita things you got in the
with
did you eat all of them?
With hummus?
Yeah,
I finished
with
it.
hummus. Wait, you ate all of them?
I think I left one for you. Yo, if you have a box in the fridge somewhere
you always be finishing shit in our fridge.
You cannot leave one piece for the other person living with you. That's disrespectful.
No, that's considerate.
No, I think it's disrespectful to leave. Let's say there were 20 pieces and you leave one, I would feel disrespected.
So you'd rather just leave none?
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay.
Why leave one?
Because you know how satisfying it would be for the other person to have, like, if they're craving, there's still some left over.
That's good to know.
Because they're thinking in their head, that's still in the fridge.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, I'm going to go see if there's any in the fridge.
Actually, do you want to go bring it and show the people what we're talking about?
No, it's a lot right now.
All right, guys, we love you. And thank you for subscribing, watching, listening on Spotify, Apple, Google Pod. I wonder if people listen on Google Podcast.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, comment, all the things.
Yeah.
So,
and stay tuned for the photo that we oh wait.
Well, it will already be posted.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, we better be posting that shit before this drops.
Yeah, okay, bye.
And also, wait, before we go, last thing,
What?
we have a very, very exciting little thing happening that we will talk and share with you on the next episode. So just get ready for that.
I don't even know what it is.
Oh, you know what it is. You know what it is.
And we're gonna talk about that then. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like the mic. Big Ted.
No, I didn't say it.
I heard it.
Okay, but you also saw it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so not to be that person, but I'm gonna be that person. Get ready. We got some fun things coming. So, okay, bye.
Bye.